South Korea found itself at a crossroads. In a sudden move, President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law. This declaration, the first in over 4 decades, sent shockwaves throughout the nation. President Yoon cited anti-state activities by the opposition as justification. He accused them of aligning with North Korea and threatening national security. The decree would grant the president sweeping powers. These included restricting gatherings and detaining individuals without warrants. The decree aimed to suppress strikes and demonstrations. The move was unprecedented in modern South Korean history. The declaration sparked fear and uncertainty among the populace. Memories of South Korea's authoritarian past resurfaced. Citizens wondered if their democratic rights were on the verge of being revoked. The international community watched with bated breath. South Korea seemed to be teetering on the brink of a constitutional crisis. The world waited anxiously to see how the situation would unfold. In a stunning display of democratic resilience, the South Korean parliament took swift action. Lawmakers, in an emergency session, voted overwhelmingly to overturn President Yoon's martial law decree. The vote, with a clear majority opposing the declaration, sent a powerful message. The parliament, representing the will of the people, refused to allow the executive branch to usurp its authority. This decisive action served as a crucial check on presidential power, reaffirming the principle of separation of powers enshrined in South Korea's constitution. Opposition lawmakers hailed the vote as a victory for democracy. They emphasized the importance of upholding civil liberties and the rule of law, even in times of perceived crisis. The parliament's swift response acted as a bulwark against the president's attempt to seize extraordinary powers. The international community breathed a collective sigh of relief. The South Korean parliament had demonstrated its commitment to democratic principles, providing a glimmer of hope in a tense and uncertain situation. The world watched, cautiously optimistic, as South Korea navigated this constitutional crisis. The declaration of martial law ignited a firestorm of protests across South Korea. Citizens took to the streets en masse, expressing their outrage at President Yoon's actions. They viewed the declaration as a blatant attempt to stifle dissent and consolidate power. Demonstrations erupted in major cities, with people from all walks of life demanding the protection of their democratic rights. They carried signs and banners, chanting slogans that denounced the martial law decree and called for President Yoon to respect the Constitution. International condemnation of the martial law declaration was swift and widespread. Human rights organizations expressed grave concerns about the potential for human rights abuses and the erosion of democratic freedoms. World leaders and diplomats urged restraint and dialogue, emphasizing the need to uphold democratic norms and the rule of law. The international community's response underscored the global significance of South Korea's democratic stability and the potential repercussions of any backsliding. Section 4. Echoes of the Past. Martial Law and Authoritarianism in South Korea. President Yoon's attempt to impose martial law evoked dark memories of South Korea's authoritarian past. For decades, the country endured military dictatorships that ruthlessly suppressed dissent and violated human rights. The martial law decree, even if short-lived, served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of democracy and the constant need to safeguard it from those who would seek to undermine it. It raised concerns about a potential return to a period characterized by fear, censorship, and the absence of fundamental freedoms. The parallels between President Yoon's actions and the tactics employed by past authoritarian regimes were difficult to ignore. Critics accused him of exploiting fears of North Korea to justify an unwarranted crackdown on political opponents and silence dissenting voices. The events in South Korea served as a stark reminder to democracies around the world of the importance of vigilance and the need to actively defend democratic principles against all threats, both internal and external. Section 5. An Uncertain Future. The Road Ahead for South Korean Democracy. The South Korean parliament's rejection of martial law was a significant victory for democracy, but did not fully alleviate tensions. The political landscape remained deeply polarized, with both sides accusing each other of undermining national security. The standoff exposed deep divisions within society, highlighting the challenges of navigating complex political issues. The situation underscored the fragility of democratic institutions in the face of executive overreach. The road ahead for South Korean democracy remained uncertain. Healing political divisions and rebuilding trust in institutions were essential for moving forward. Dialogue, compromise, and a renewed commitment to the rule of law were crucial. The international community watched closely, hoping South Korea would emerge stronger. The world held its breath, waiting to see the next chapter for this vibrant democracy.